but have something to retire to. And that is where the problem is. Now many of us, it just come to us, we know that we have to leave the job one day. For example, in Nigeria, there are for those that are working in civil service, either you have worked for 35 years or thereabout, or you are the age of 65, and I think they are saying 65 now. Okay, many 60, some 65, and those in the academics, they say 70. But whether you like it or not, it will come. Yesterday, we were teenagers, young adults, got married, and look at us today. Some are already grandfathers, grandmothers. So, it will come. Now, I think this is one thing that we are all familiar with, circle of life. 0 to 12, then all of a sudden adolescents, young adults, you are now a matured adult. Many of us are within this range now. And whether you like it or not, very soon, we get to what we call the retirement phase. Depends on what you have said for yourself. There are people that have even said 40 as retirement age. Some 45, 50, 55, then 60. These are individual choices of life. Now, a big question. Are you ready for retirement? I have several questions here. Are you ready to leave what you have been doing to go to something? There are people, they're not ready to just abandon jobs. Clearly the generation that we have today, they don't have the patience to stay in one thing for so long. So you see, they move from one to the other. Are you prepared for the challenges of a new life? Do you have the resources to create your new life? Is your total financial and emotional situation good? And this is one of the challenges that we have in our country, Nigeria. Of course, we understand for those set to be retired, the kind of life that they are retired into. Are there supports you can count on, and have you coped well with other transitions? Yes, there will be transitions in life. When you move from that one to the other, how are you able to cope with it? And now, also, are you an optimist or are you patient? And that will lead us to the 4 pillars of retirement. 1, health. 2, family. Then 3, purpose. And the 4th one, we call it finances. Health. According to Hippocrates, it is the greatest of human blessings. That is why we are not meant to understand that health is what? Wealth. You can have the whole world in this, all money in this world, but if you don't have the health to enjoy it, it is equal to 0. During the pandemic, we have to understand that money cannot buy health. We saw people, and I think there was this man that passed on when the pandemic was about running up. This man, the list of the cars he drives his Rolls Royce. Everywhere he has houses in the world. But even that couldn't save him. So when you have health, you have everything. And I want to beg us to maintain our health. Do not joke with it. I feel like saying amen. So, of course, as people age, they become more susceptible to chronic illnesses, which can be quite devastating if you are not prepared. So it is crucial you stay on top of your health by maintaining a healthy lifestyle. That is the word. A healthy word, lifestyle. Lifestyle matters. You know, for us, many of us, we still live our lives as if we are still in school. So we have to begin to look at the kind of lifestyle that we are living. It's quite important, because if you don't know it, you don't know at that time comes in and it becomes a struggle. So you have to stay active by engaging in low impact. Look at what we did this morning. It goes a long way. Once in a while, it's just a walk. It's just a walk when you can do it. The work we did this morning was so, I believe think it was quite beneficial to many of us. Once in a while, swimming, if you have the opportunity, you can register for a club where you can just go. You will just table tennis, go and walk out. Like even recently, I was in a golf course and I said, this is a good one because the kilometers I cover just walking on the golf course. And I believe that it is a kind of lifestyle that some of us at our age can go into. Look for some kind of groups that you can register with, whereby you can go to and do a workout, play games, sport games and association. So you should also consider making modification to your own to improve accessibility. In talking about health, I also talk about mental health issues also come up. It's recommended that you engage in activities to challenge your cognitive abilities. See, the problem that many people have in our country, Nigeria, have you observed that when people retire, they begin to die? You know, many people retire into death. But in that fight school, we are talking about this. You can retire but not tired. You can do what? Retire but they're not tired. That's why when you go abroad, you see people that are beds, still working in supermarkets. Even if it is just to pick debris or clean the ground, you can see them. What is important that they are offering services. So involve in things that will challenge you, such as learning a new language, competing crossword puzzle. Recently, I went to the supermarket with my children and I bought a flute. And they were looking at me, Daddy, what I said, I want to start learning flute. And there are things that are coming to my head. I want to register, even though it was learn a piano, challenge your brain. That's why you can see in the advanced world, people are 100 and they are just listening to studying one course or the other. We are not too old to learn. There are so many things that you can learn. So learn something new. There's nothing bad. You can still become a pilot. Not because you want to fly commercial planes. That's what happens. People have made a lot of money, but every day they are learning new things. And we are talking about the second pillar, which is family. James Hughes said, family had a deep core social relationship in our life that inspires us. So you can just look at that. Of course, what makes up a family? We all belong to family here. You just go through it, but it is important that we begin to look at getting our families together. Some of us know we are living our life. Yes, we have children, we have wives, we have husbands. They will not belong to a family. Because you will need them. I have to tell my mother something recently. My father just passed on at the age of 87. But I know that when people have gotten to that point, it was because of the people that they have around them. And look at the generation that we find ourselves today, whereby, is it the children, many of them, by the time they are finishing school, they are that by. When you get there, they may love you so much, but you don't have anybody around you. You may not have even your grandchildren around you. Well, it depends on the foundation that you have laid for yourself today. So you have to begin to look at it from today. How are you going to have family around you when you begin to get to that point whereby you are retiring in quotes? So the key questions for potential retirees are you willing to offer financial support to your family, even if it jeopardizes your own financial future? The way many of us run our homes, run our family now, we can't even make sacrifices for them. You are sowing for your future. That's why there's some children, when they get to some point, they say, no, this my father suffered so much for me. This my mother suffered so much for me. They will do everything to ensure that you have the comfort at your retirement. So now, because it's what you sow that you will reap in the future. Many of us, they were not sowing anything. Even among people that are around us, our extended family, just look at it. Sometimes it's not money that you have to give. Just contribute to somebody's life. What about purpose? Purpose is feeling like the world needs you as much as you need it. Look at us here now. You can see many people driven by purposes. look at that big man serving. That is his purpose. Some people have been running around just to be sure that we are comfortable in this place. That is purpose. That you have something to contribute and that you still matter. I'm happy for some of the things that we have spoken to us about. No island has ever made a forest. It doesn't matter what you think you have in this world. The one thing is that we always need ourselves. And after I'm happy, for example, when the president was talking, we could see what support we do for ourselves. And so that is why we must always ensure that in life, even as we are going into retirement, that we do not allow our purpose about life. So let's always have something that we are living for. If you are not seeing it, look for it. The world is big enough. Look at now we talk about the sustaining power of purpose. When you have purpose in life, you are a more happier person. You are also more healthier. You are more active. You are more socially engaged. And of course, you live longer. This is the result of people that are purpose. Because when you have positive attitudes towards your aging and lifestyle, because age is going to come. But have a positive attitude towards it. And if you are planning for the next level of that retirement age, I pray that it will be a pleasant one for us in the name of Jesus. Amen. Now, how can we sustain the power of purpose? Number one is giving. Find ways to contribute. Find what? Ways to contribute. Another one is growing. You must try new things. You can cook. There's this man, the man that set up what is this right? This chicken something. Is it Kentucky? KFC. The man had, well, he was retired. He was 55 when he started that business. But he still ran it till he was about 90 plus before he passed on. He was somebody, if you read the story, he was someone that was already written off. You can do new things. Like me, I tell you I love to cook. Maybe one of two of you that were there, and I'm saying, I go to tell you, I want to start a restaurant. Because when we were in school, we cook beans a lot. We ate a lot of beans. And that has enjoyed to cook beans in different styles and dimensions. But I tell people I've gone out, I've eaten a lot of beans, but I've not seen somebody that has cooked beans the way I cook beans. So, and that becomes a business sense for me. And I said, I want to sell beans. Anytime I say, God forbid, I said, I told you, God will not forbid this one. But it is a vision that I have, it's a dream that I have, and I must accomplish it. And you will see little things that you think doesn't matter. And what brings money? You know, I was upstairs this morning and I was looking out. You see a shop, most mathematical, they are selling things there. And I said, that is a very wise person. The person just come, set that kind of business in the front of this hotel. You might need to buy soap. You might need to buy paste.
Indomie. I want them to
Indomie. Thank you. So you might just look at what this person is doing. My brothers and my sisters, do not forget what you think you are now, because time will come soon you will retire out of that day. But begin to look at things that you can retire to. They might lose more, but I believe that you will not be too ashamed to make money. Another one is enjoying, spending time alone with the family and friends, doing things that provide meaning and pleasure, such as celebration. There's nothing bad. You can buy value at home. Recently I was in Israel and I observed something. You know, I'm trying to look at, can you imagine some games that we had played when we were small? Can anybody just remember any of them? Koso. Now just imagine when we become 80. Just listen to me, when we become 80 and you gather on a popular street and all of us understand how we are playing Koso. whatever, and possibly the lady that can still do and like that. It may look funny. Like yesterday when I came, I was telling somebody, I said, let's get a doctor to this place. Let them take our blood, before we leave here. You will shock what you will say. Because tension in the life of people has gone down drastically. And so, when you see, I saw old men, I could imagine, and there was a lady in their midst. If you see what they were playing on the streets in Israel, I saw them. I didn't want to do that. They were taking pictures of them. So we can do things like that. Of course, another one is finances. The only risk with investment is not having enough. What I will do is that this slide, I'm going to put it on the platform so that yes, we can just look at it. But I think it's just a wake-up call for us. The time we have, we cannot talk about everything that is here. But I think as I begin to conclude, I just want to go through something at the end of this lecture. At the retirement plan. We have about A, B, and C here. The first is retirement plan A, pure leisure. You can retire to pure leisure. That's if you are prepared for that. There are people that, because of the position they play, they just go and just enjoy life. I know a man that did so well here, and when he was about 65, he moved to join his children abroad. And most times I see his bicycle today, he's enjoying life today. It depends on how prepared you are. There are words, you can look at that. I don't see it, don't stand like that. So the other one is leisure plus volunteer activity. We can volunteer, even after having leisure, you can volunteer. There are rewards. Now the conclusion. We have two choices according to Hans. Each of us has two distinct choices to make about what we will do with our life. The first choice is that we can make it to be less than we have the capacity to be. That is to earn less, to have less, to read less, to think less, to try less, and discipline ourselves less. These are choices that lead to empty life. And the second one is to do it all. That is to become all that we can possibly be. To become all that we can possibly be, to read every book that we can possibly can, to earn as much as we can possibly can, to give as much as we can possibly can, to arrive and produce and accomplish as much as we can possibly can. All of us have the choice. So make the choice today. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much. Is it from the National Assembly, my name is Ehidu Aniagu.
Brothers and sisters, both those on the high table and those at the higher table, good afternoon. I thought that I would come here before each and every one of you, but somehow some other things came up, and obviously by 2:30 I was have to run out because of our closing ceremonies for the National Youth Game. So please bear with me. My name is Charles Ehidu Aniago. While I was in school, I don't know who to the school now because each one comes with different names. But I remember those who were quite close were calling me Charlie Chaplin. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Charlie Chaplin. You are welcome back to class. I've noticed 4 times. 3-time commissioner. He was 2-time commissioner for information, Delta State. Honorable Charles Aniago. We are honored by your distinguished presence, Honorable Charles. Then, while
Mr. Baker, Amaka, and I was popularly called Amaka in school.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Raymond Benu is my name, alias cameraman.
The resource person. You see, there are things we take for granted sometimes because of the kind of activities we get ourselves involved. We shy away from the truth, and sometimes because we shy away from the truth, we fall into more trouble. Some persons believe that retirement is after I work for government, my sleep, no continuity. What has brought us here today is continuity. Because I learned, I've not attended this reunion before, but I learned we've had the first one and the second one. This is the third one. So sustaining that movement is what has kept us. I want to appeal to all of us. Like this morning, I was speaking to Lucky. I said, I don't know anything about business. He looked at me. I said, yes, I don't know anything about business. He now said, yes, that's one of the reasons why this reunion was called, organized. I want to appeal to the presenter. This paper you just presented now, yes, it might look brief, but at least it will lead us, guide us in whatever we're going to do. And so I'm appealing that this paper should be sent to our platform, whereby we can also make references to. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Let me also appreciate the results best. Because during your presentation, I listened carefully. Like we are civil servants. To retire well, need investment. But your salary cannot take care of your immediate needs. Talk less saving to invest in your retirement. What we find ourselves in this circumstance, what do we do? Thank you.
You have ideas, you don't need money. You can create the money. Now the civil servant. I was very intentional and give the example of somebody that set up a little shop up on the dam. There are so many things that we can do. Even in the place where you do business, you just people just come in and you are saying, see, even while you are working, your little efforts can be working for you outside. And I don't think it's even safe they will not ask you to do that. Well, just because of the situation in Nigeria today, many of us are in the farm environment. You can engage in farming. You can send money to somebody in the village, in that land, to begin to chill it. Get crops. You are in Benin. Let them bring you to come and sell in Benin. Little by little, you just be you are farming a plot of land. Sometimes you just get a plot of land and plant it. You sell. There are so many things that are possible. But the problem we have is that knowing what to do with money. I tell people, sometimes just as I have spoken, you give some people 1 billion naira today, give them 1 year, they become poor. Because that intelligence of how to manage resources is not there. So those are the things we need. You can start very little. Plan to, we are talking about retiring to something. Don't just plan to retire, but what? Retire to something. So there is a journey. You can start it from now. Whether you are in the uniform, whatever you are doing. So start small. Just look at something. Conceptualize something. And plan something to go to. I know that this organ will not go to us.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Basil. You see, the problem we usually have as humans is that we want to do it big. I'll give you an instance. I work in a bank.
when I was younger in the industry. At a point, we discovered that security men working with us were living in their own houses. But those of us who wear big suits, either because we are waiting to buy a plot of land for 10 million or 20 million, you remain in that place. Especially some of our colleagues in Lagos. They want to stay in Lekki where you pay 3-4 million naira rent. But that security man has a small garden behind. When he closes, he goes there. Some have small farms out there. Some when they even close, they have small shops where they go to. When we were doing the introduction, somebody said she's a producer of the best soap, right?
Soap,
yes.
Rice.
And I'm sure you're a lawyer. The problem we have is we don't want to get our hands down. That is the basic thing. And not until we start doing some of those things, small things, even the Bible said it, that the wealth you gather little by little increases. That is one thing we need to do. Then there is no human being here that does not have one thing he is capable of doing. And that thing that he does, whether he's paid or not paid, he enjoys doing it. Those are the things that even give you money. Now let's look at the people who know comedians. When we were small, they call them people. Somebody just go, they crack joke, they work out, they go in. But today, they are about the richest people. While I think like 6-7 years ago, I started doing talking for a living in addition to what I do. They want to do a business meeting. Please come and speak to us about financial planning. You go there, before you know, you have 100,000 at the back of your pocket. It's not part of your salary. Somebody will call you out, like my brother did very well, talking about retirement. I was saying that after his lecture, I will just tell us one or two things. Some of us, we spend everything that we earn. Everything. If the salary increases, if they promote you, the salary increases to 300,000, you move up your expenses to cover the entire 300,000. I will share a life experience. When I joined, I was resigning before. I was resigning for like 21 years. When I joined Zenith, I was working with John Holt. Then my salary was just 6,000 and a fraction. One day, after working for about 6 months, my manager then called me and said, "How much do you have in your savings account?" Just you said, that was what brought me. Your response brought me. Said, I now told him, I said, then he talks say money never be chop. You talk of the one when they say. So he asked me 2 questions. The first one was, how much were you earning before you joined Zenith? I said 6,522 naira. I remember very clearly. He said, how much are you earning now? I said 36,000. He said, you have a problem. He now advanced the question and said, when you were working with John Holt, were you borrowing to feed? I said no. Say, were you going to the office naked? I said no. Were you living in an uncompleted building or living outside? I said no. The guy now said, if you could survive with 6,500, and now you are earning over 500% in addition to what you were earning before, and you are unable to save, you have a problem. He now said, all these people, I see, the reason I call this is I see people trooping. Each time, anyone that comes, you give 1,000. This one is going 2,000, the other one is going 3,000. He said, when you were working with your home, were they coming this way? Were you having this number of visitors? I said, not as much. He said, I'm not praying back for you. They are here because of this job. If the job goes, they will go the way they came. So, before you pay them, before you start dishing out the money, pay yourself first. I said, I don't understand. He said, before you put that list, put your name on top. He said, do you go to church? I said, yes. when you pay God tithe, then pay yourself as a second person. So what I'm trying to say is, no matter how small your salary is, if yes, start saving. That is the first thing anybody should do. Someone said, Colonel Sanders that created KFC started at 62. I'm sure so many of us are less than 62. So we still have the privilege to start now. The issue is start small and grow it to be big. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a question.
Please permit me 1 minute to just add up, because of the essence is what we are gathering here is to learn from one another. And I want to advise those of us here that are into salary work, either company or government or whatever. For 25 years or so, I never did any salary work. For 25 years I'm standing. So I can give you, from my point of view, an advice that will work. Wherever you live in this country, there's always a high-end area and low-end area where it is. And those low-end areas, you could get a plot of land or half a plot of land for as little as maybe 500,000, maybe 1 million. In 5 years, in 10 years, you take that same amount, that land to the market and you want to sell. It's enough to establish a business. But oftentimes, some people don't look into it. And they will say, okay, I'm a civil servant. How am I going to get 500,000 naira to go buy it? No, you can. Truly, you can. Because they are what we call a job. A job maybe monthly, whatever. You have cooperative and all that. And you are just saving little. When you take your turn, you find little land, quarter of a plot, you have, depending on your capacity. You buy it, it's a kind of savings in itself. You throw that money away, you've not eaten the money. 10 years from that day, you go to the market. I want to sell this land, you'll be amazed. I want to encourage us to do that. This is my business, and I can tell you, it will never fail. It will never fail if you do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.